You know what's so great about success, gentlemen, and I want you to keep this in mind. Success is the cure-all revenge to everything. You know that ex who really upset you, who broke your heart, and she has a new man now and she seems happy? She wouldn't be happy if you got a lot richer and in better shape and famous. If she saw you and goes, wow, he didn't have a six-pack and arms like that when I was with him. He didn't drive a car like that when I was with him. Look at him now. I really wish I didn't leave him and go with this other guy. I wish I stayed with him. Before you know it, she'd hate her current husband and want you back. Success is the best revenge. It's the best revenge on your school teachers who didn't believe in you. It's the best revenge on your boss who used to boss you around. It's the best revenge on all those women who don't fucking reply to you anymore. It's the revenge on everyone. It's the cure-all, the silver bullet. The only thing you have to focus on is winning. If you win everything. You don't have to play all these little games. You don't have to try and get your ex back or upset or be petty or send her stupid fucking messages. You need to fucking get rich. Then all of the work is done. I automatically win in every scenario because of how successful I am. If I break up with a woman, I win because she will never get another me. Success is the ultimate final victory in all things. Don't you want revenge on the people who didn't believe in you? Don't you want revenge on your enemies? Don't you want revenge on everybody who abandoned you? People who thought you were worth nothing and worthless? Don't you want them to finally feel the sting of regret? Don't you want them to come across your Instagram profile after a few short years, see the life you're living and the man you've become, and to fucking hate themselves? Don't you want your exes begging? Nothing makes me happier than the girls I haven't seen in years popping up again begging for another shot. There's nothing more beautiful than them messaging you, been a while, fucking skank, shut up. It certainly has. That's winning. And you can win one way. Success is the only possible route to revenge. And if you go through life without taking revenge on those who wronged you, you're a perpetual perma-victim. If you're not out here becoming successful to get revenge on the people who didn't believe on you, you're a perma-victim who is nothing but a prey for predators. Are you going to live 70 long years with nobody who ever wrongs you regretting that decision? You're going to be 70 years old and everybody who ever treated you badly is going to be glad they did, because they're going to think of you as a fucking scumbag. They're going to think, I'm glad I don't talk to him anymore. I'm glad I left that guy. I'm glad I never believed in him. And they're going to be right. And you don't have motivation to go try, so they feel some regret. You want to just be the laughing stock of everybody who's ever interacted with you ever, and you lack motivation somehow? You don't have a six-pack, big arms, a bunch of money, a Lambo. You have none of those things, and all the people who ever said you were a fucking loser were right? That's how you're going to live your life as a man? It is go time. It always has been. It always will be. It's perpetual. It's never ending. Do you understand there is a new level of life to unlock? Do you understand that everybody who has ever wronged you is currently laughing at you? If you don't feel like going to the gym, you don't feel like making money, let me say this to you. Everybody who ever wronged you is currently laughing at you because you are not more successful than them. They were right. Everybody is laughing at you. Behind your back, you're a man. Have some dignity. Have some honor. Stand up. Everyone is making fun of you. And the only possible revenge is success. It should be all you think about. It should be all you do. It doesn't matter who the president is. Nobody's coming. No one's going to save you. You need to do it. Yourself. Just you. By yourself. Get up and do it. Otherwise, you're going to lose your youth. You're going to lose your energy. You're going to become an old man. You're going to sink into a chair. And you would have lived your entire life as a fucking joke. And if that doesn't motivate you to try, if that will not motivate you to do something simple like press buttons on a keyboard, then you are born to lose. We can laugh at the system. We can mock the system. But you're still inside of the system. So who's really winning? When we call them dumb idiot losers, but they still control your life, what does that make you? And I told you this when Trump won. You need to work harder now than ever. This is your last chance. And everyone thought, Trump's here now. A leprechaun's gonna bring me gold. You can't even find a leprechaun to fuck, let alone bring you gold. If you see a leprechaun in the club, a midget bitch, she'll still reject you. And you can sit here and you can blame the system, blame the banks, blame the Jews. Which Jew came to your house and stopped you going to the gym? Oh, but the Jews control the media and the media make the women not listen. They make the women not listen to you because they fucking listen to me. There's no system that can hold you down. There's no woman that can hold you down. Nothing can hold you down if you're a fucking winner. If you take action and you move first, nothing can pin you down. Nothing. You're allowing them to beat you. They are breaking your spirit. They are making you quit. They're making you give up. It doesn't matter what they tell women. It doesn't matter what feminist bullshit. It doesn't matter. None of it matters if you're a fucking hero. If you're a hero, you can resist. The history books are written about men like me, like Napoleon, like Genghis fucking Khan, who said, no, we are going to fight. There is no leprechaun who's going to bring you gold. You need to get rich now. I don't know how else to put it in simple language. You need to panic, stop sleeping, feel nervous, get worried, and get rich now. Before the schism is so large in the universe that the wormhole closes and brokies cannot escape perpetual and never-ending slavery for their entire dynasty of their bloodline. You have shit to do. What do you mean festival? You have things to do. You have to escape slavery. I'm gonna go movies with my girlfriend. You wasted your fucking time. Next time your girlfriend says, let's go movies, are you gonna sit and think, wait, I went movies with a bitch in 2015, and now I'm not rich. Now this new bitch trying to make me go to a movie again. I'm still not rich, need money instead, and say, no, I'm locked in, I'm getting rich. Stand by me and enjoy the fruits of my labor, or be gone. Maybe all the poor people who go, I don't want to be poor, I've tried hard, are lying. And if you get to know these people, they're not even nice people, because good people who work hard seem to always win. By logical extension, anyone who has not won is not a good person who works hard. Somewhere along the line, there's something wrong with you. Now it is Darwinism. Those who do not benefit do not deserve to benefit.
When I hear people say, oh, it's hard, or I don't have time, etc., all you're doing is telling me you're a loser.
I am hundreds of feet underground. This entire salt mine was dug out by hand. Men with pickaxes, grit, and determination. Men who had to feed their families. Men who were dedicated enough to suffer so that the people they loved did not have to suffer. They were down here in the pitch black. Turns out the economic prospects have never been too great, have they? They've never been bright. There's no reason for you to complain now that the bankers or the economic situation has made it too difficult for you to get rich. Because since men were men, it's always been difficult to get rich. You had to risk your entire life, your physical safety to make enough money to afford food to eat, and now you stand a chance to get monumentally wealthy by typing on a keyboard, and you're complaining that somehow it is difficult. It's always been difficult, it's always been hard, and hard men win. You should show some respect to the men who did amazing things, whether they died in a ditch, in some forgotten war, or dug out this entire salt mine by hand to feed their families. And the easiest way to show them some respect is to dedicate yourself.
If you lose, you deserve to lose because you didn't take action. If you take action, you will win.
You have no excuse to not make money. So all you have to do is try. I'm tired of yelling at you people. There's only so much you can do to inspire a sheep to become a wolf.
I'm thinking about two men right here in Chicago who were fairly successful. They worked for a corporation for many years, and they were among many people that were laid off. One went out looking for a job for several weeks, along with the other one, and they faced disappointment. They couldn't find any work, which is the story of many people across this country. One guy stopped. He stayed home looking at television, became very argumentative and toxic with his wife, getting on the phone, talking to his other negative, unemployed friends, and he just gave up. The other guy kept looking for a job everywhere he could go, kept asking people. He kept going, he kept going. He went to a place and said, look here, I tell you what, if you can't hire me, I don't want to sit home and do nothing. Just let me do some volunteer work. You don't have to give me anything. I just want to work. I want to be busy. This guy came in and worked. He was the first one there, was the best employee there. About 4 weeks later, one of the top managers quit. Guess who they selected? This other guy. He got the job. What was the difference between the two men? One guy said, it's not possible, it's over, I'm finished. He surrendered. But this other guy, he felt that in spite of the no's and rejections, in spite of how bad the economy is, that it's possible. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's what we have to do with our dreams. Because things happen to you in life. And many times when those things happen, you want to give up. Just keep moving. Don't start feeling sorry for yourself. Don't spend time blaming and talking about what happened to you. See, whatever you talk about, that's what you multiply and expand in your life experience. You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go.
I mean, you know, everybody got the same story. We just got different details. But like I always say, life is 10% what happens to you. It's 90% what you do about it.
For things to change for you, you got to change. Otherwise, it isn't going to change. The tide comes in and then what? It goes out. For 6,500 years that we know of, recorded history, so it is not going to change. It gets light and then what? It turns dark. And we're not to be startled by that. Sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it gets in a knot. See, that's not going to change. The last 6,000 years reads like this: opportunity mixed with difficulty. And whether I'm talking to high school kids or business executives, my message is always the same. The only way it gets better for you is when you get better. See, I used to blame everything outside. And then let me give you a little philosophy that helped turn my life around. It's not what happens, but rather it's what you do. And I found out that the same things can happen to two different people. One gets rich and one stays poor. Why is that? It's because it's not what happens, it's what you do. Anything can happen, right? Everything can happen. I've heard all the stories. I've been one of the stories. I've fallen out of the sky so many times. But it's not the happenings, it's what you do about it. Somebody says, yeah, but you don't understand the disappointments I've had. Come on. Everybody's had their share. The difference is what you do about it. Two men wake up one morning, there's a rainstorm on. One of them looks out his window, sees the rainstorm, and he says, with weather like this, they can't expect you to go out and make sales. He stays home. Same morning, the other guy looks out his window, sees the same storm, says, wow, what a storm. What a great day to go out and make sales. Most everybody will probably be home, especially the salesman. See, that's the difference in how your life works out. It's not what happens, it's what you do. Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? It's choice time. You can do whatever you want. But it's nice to know any day you wish you can change your whole life. See, you don't ever have to be the same again after tonight, only by choice. If there's one thing to get excited over, that's it. Get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. On any given day, you can massively change the direction of your life. Now that's exciting. Today, my life changes. Now who can do that? Anybody. When can you do it? Whatever day you pick.
People say to me, oh, I have anxiety. And they talk about it like it's a bad thing. Like this anxiety demon has come into his life and ruined his life. You have anxiety over stupid shit. Keep your anxiety demon, and now have anxiety that you're not rich. Get to the point where you can't sit still and watch Netflix and eat ice cream because you are too anxious about the fact that you don't have $100 million. You might start doing some work. Oh, I have depression. Great, fantastic. I'm glad you have depression because you won't feel depressed on a yacht with 20 supermodels, 300 million in the bank, and a Bugatti waiting for you in the marina. Then you won't feel depressed. So it's a good thing you have depression because you don't have those things, and now you have to get them to feel better, so get to work. I have OCD. You have OCD over dumb shit like arranging your Star Wars figurines. You should have OCD about getting your life in order, about being in the gym on time, about training harder than everyone around you, about getting some money in your bank. You don't have to get rid of these conditions. I would argue that Elon, the man who's putting rockets into space, probably has OCD. That's how he managed to get a rocket into space. And you're saying your OCD prevents you from fucking washing the dishes because you're a fuck up and you are a failure. I publicly state that I have anxiety. I have governments trying to kill me, getting thrown in and out of jail at random, all of my assets seized, 9 baby mamas, my Jesco's broken, my private jet was clicking on the way here making a strange noise. I know they're trying to kill me anyway. I have anxiety, but I use my anxiety so that I wake up at 6:15 a.m. instantly enraged, getting to work so I win. I grabbed the demon of anxiety by his fucking neck and added him to my legion. He works for me. You have dulled your sword, so you have nothing to threaten the demons with, because you're too busy sitting around in therapy like a little girl. When anxiety turns up, you cower with your little weak, dull sword. I pull my blade and say, you now work for me. By force. I have depression. I have OCD. I have all of it. These demons work for me. They are my army. That is how I've conquered the world. If you're at home complaining, I have OCD, I have anxiety, I have depression, you need to get these demons in check. They are your weapons against mediocrity. Therapists will never tell you that. A therapist will say, oh, we have to get rid of your anxiety. Just bend over, spread your butt cheeks. We're going to get rid of your anxiety. It's not a perfect world. It's a world of war and endless combat and chaos. My legion of darkness is made up of monsters because monsters fight monsters. I can only beat my enemies because of all my flaws. It's because of everything that's wrong with me. There's things wrong with me, supposedly. But all of those things work for me. And it seems that whenever I direct my chi at any task, even escaping the highest level matrix setup in the most corrupt country on the map, I somehow managed to pull it off. You think I got out of this Romanian bullshit situation with luck? You think I got out of it with law? Or I was lucky? I woke up 4 or 5 times a night. I could not sleep. When you wake up and you cannot sleep, you know what you do? You lay in bed and cry like a baby. The second I couldn't sleep, I was up, training, working, reading the Romanian law, learning a new language, the European Court of Human Rights, endless Aikido, new legal teams, new money, new ways to combat their narratives, fighting the BBC, preparing for interviews, endless sets, endless reps, anxiety, OCD, fucking depression, everything. That's how I won. Get out of therapy. Need to leave therapy immediately. There is nothing more destructive to the male psyche than sitting down and complaining and crying about your problems to somebody who has their own problems, which they do not even disclose to you. They sit there as if there's some godlike individual who doesn't have their own mistakes, aren't arguing with their own wife, don't have their own bills to pay. And you sit there trying to elicit sympathy, elicit understanding, automatic submission to some idiot with a piece of paper, a PhD he got from a bullshit university. Therapy in and of itself is destructive to your ability to take control over your own life. You are dulling your sword because you're complaining that your own sword might cut you. But it's your sword that cuts your enemies. You're denying who you are. You're denying all of the things that made you you. God gave you all of these difficult situations so that you could challenge yourself and you could find the best way to navigate them and stay sane. That is why God gave them to you, so that you can become a better version of yourself. And instead of learning lessons, instead of being thankful to God for the difficult things he's put you through, you instead go and cry to some human, fallible creature, complaining about how something happened 21 years ago. A therapist doesn't have a fucking time machine. And they don't try and make you feel better about what happened. They try and just justify your terrible reaction to said events. Because there's only one true human emotion that should come from negative scenario, which is anger. Someone can kill a member of your family and you can get sad or you can get angry. Angry gets something done. Sad? That's just sitting around hoping others feel sorry for you. Sad belongs in the therapy room, but anger belongs out here in the world. Directed anger, focused anger. I'm not saying you start smashing your head against the wall like an idiot. I'm saying that very much like a focused concentration of water through a dam can power a city. That is how your anger should work. You should focus it in the exact direction it needs to go to solve the problem. If you're poor, get angry. If you're woman left, get angry. Get angry at yourself for being left. Don't get angry at the world you're poor. Get angry at yourself because you can't afford all the things you want. Anger is the correct response to any emotion because anger elicits instant action. You know, I'm so anti-therapy, and I've had these conversations so many times with people. Their answer is that I need therapy, supposedly. If I need therapy, how come every single person on the planet knows my name? How come every single time I walk in the room, they're like, "Oh, Mr. Tate." And everyone starts going, Top G, and getting cameras out. How come I'm an international celebrity with hundreds of millions of fucking dollars? How come when I was thrown in jail and put in a Romanian dungeon for 4 months to stare at the wall, I came out perfectly fine and still destroyed the mainstream media in all of their setup interviews in a way you could never do? How come I'm so monumentally successful and my women never turned on me and all I do is win, and you're telling me that I need therapy while you're in therapy and you're a nobody? Nobody even knows who you are. I don't need therapy. I self-therapize with anger because anger makes me brave. And my bravery has allowed me to grab demons by the neck.
Anger is a fantastic force. It's perfectly fine for you to look around at your life, look at the house you live in, look at the car you drive, and get pissed off and go, you know what, I want a hotter, I want a nicer house, I want a faster car. There's nothing wrong if you take that anger and you direct it in the correct direction. Right now, you're watching it and you look around you and you don't own the home you're in, get pissed off. If there ain't a Ferrari on your drive, get pissed off. You need to sit there and realize, whoa. I have a few years of consciousness, and even less than that, I have a few short years as a young man. Age will damage you. I mean, if you're a millionaire in your 60s, it's not nearly as good as being a millionaire at my age. I became a millionaire at 28. You need to realize you got a few short years as a young man, you're wasting them. Forced, directed anger is an extremely powerful force. When I was broke, I couldn't sleep. I wanted money like I needed air. I am smart enough to know that money equals freedom. I'm not gonna live broke, get rich, or die trying. I understand that completely. I couldn't tolerate it, and I was so uncomfortable that it gave me the motivation I needed to escape. It's very easy to get exactly what you want if you try. What you have is people who try 60%. They try one day, then they miss a day. And then they say, I tried my best, but I still failed. You didn't try your best because you missed a day. I have always tried my best, which is why I have everything I've ever tried to get. I don't have the things I didn't try to get. If I see a man and he's like, oh, I don't want to work, I don't want to try, I just drink. Well, then I don't like you because you're an idiot. The competition is absolutely and utterly fierce. Understanding that you're a man with a small pistol up against a mighty army. If you want to add a little bit of laziness on top, you're f***ed. If I'm awake, I'm working. I don't take a second off. I don't relax. I don't rest. I don't stop. I don't chill. None. That is all I do. And you are at home competing against me, and you want to watch a movie tonight. All I'm trying to say is that the world, especially the masculine world, is one large, endless competition. If you want to win a game, you need to at least play it. You can pretend there's no competition, but then you're not going to win. If you wake up and realize that the car you want, other men want, the house you want, other men want, the job you want, other men want, when you realize this, you're like, okay, now I know the competition, let me go try and win. If someone were to say to me, Andrew, how do I get rich? I'd say, well, then you have to understand that all the money you're trying to make, other people are trying to make. So you need to be faster, you need to be more competitive, you need to try harder, you need to wake up earlier, you need to dedicate yourself. And if they say to me, I don't want to do that, I'm going to say, okay, then you're a loser. Go lose. Here's the next man who wants to win. And then when he wins, people are going to ask him how he did it. And I'm going to say, because he played the game. I sit with people who I used to go to school with from Luton who are still broke and tell them how to make money. And you know what they do? They answer back. Yeah, but you know, it's not that simple because, you know, the wife gets the kid, and you know what? And I don't like to do things that way. The way I like to work, the way you like to work is why you're fucking broke. I told you how to take your business of painting and decorating and make a serious amount of money, and now you're telling me the way you like to work? Then stay broke. They'll sit with a multimillionaire and tell you their view. Oh, I think that know when you're out qualified and accept it and learn. Nobody, absolutely nobody, gives a fuck about you as much as you're going to have to give a fuck about. Nobody cares about you as much as they need to care to fix your life. Even your parents, even your friends, they care about you. Yeah, sure, there may be 2 or 3 people on the planet genuinely care about you. But nobody is going to come to your bed, drag you to a job, force you to work hard, and go and buy you a Ferrari. You are never going to have any of the things you want if you do not get them yourself.
So if someone's overweight, they chose to be overweight. If someone's broke, they chose to be broke. I believe everything in the world is a choice. People will argue with me when I say that. They say, no, I didn't choose to feel this way. And I'll argue back that believing everything is a choice empowers you to make the change. Trying to say that everything is not a choice removes your power and your authority and your responsibility and your capability. So I think the most powerful thing you can do if you're a depressed or sad person is accept that you have chosen to be one and you can choose to stop being one. But surely your mindset as a man, especially in the world today, should be the mindset which allows you to be most competitive and win. Forget truth. If I believe the sky is green, but it doubles my net worth, you can say the sky is blue all day long. I'm saying it's green. My net worth is doubled because of it. So what is truth? What even is true and false? All of history is a lie. Everything on the news is a lie. What even is true and false? True and false is adopting the mindset or the strategies which allow you to compete. That's what's true. It's like fighting. People say lucky punch. There's no such thing as a lucky punch. It landed and you threw it. That's a punch. So what is true? Well, for me, what is true is what allows me to feel most powerful. When I look at scenarios or situations, I sit and say, option A makes me feel weak and helpless, and option B makes me feel powerful, so I believe B to be true. And that's where my whole worldview comes from. The primary objective of my thoughts and feelings and reality is to win. It's not to feel happy. It's not on some garbage, endless quest for what might be true. It's to win all of the time. So I optimize for competitiveness and I optimize for performance in all things, which is very unpopular with a lot of people. Most people don't optimize for that. Most people optimize for the worst thing possible. You know, the worst possible mindset you can try and optimize your life for? Happiness. Happiness is for women and children. As a man, if you wake up and go, I want to be happy today, you're going to do unimportant, narcissistic, hedonistic garbage. Eat too much, drink too much, sit around and play video games, smoke weed. You're not going to achieve anything if you want to be happy. As a man, 99% of the time, you're going to be stressed or annoyed about something that's just happened, currently happening, or about to happen. That's life. We live constantly anxious. We have a lot of things to do. And you either suffer the consequence of the stress it requires to be a somebody, or you suffer the consequence of having no stress because you're a fucking nobody and you work in Starbucks and then you're a no one. So many men say to me, oh, how I don't feel happy. I'm like, so? You think I'm happy? I got nearly $1 billion. I'm still stressed. I got criminal convictions, work to do. I was up at 6 a.m. I got to go here. I got to go there. I've got to train. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. At what point do you think you've earned the right to wake up as a man and feel happy? Losers have this problem with temporary motivation. A loser will come and say, I really want to change my life. I can't live like this anymore. And they'll mean what they say for about 2 days. And then they're happy to go back to being a loser again. And that's why they never escape. They never get the terminal velocity required to break free from the atmosphere of mediocrity. The reason it's so easy to win in the world today is because the majority of people are perfectly prepared to lose. You have to wake up and you have to give a shit. You have to wake up and go, you know what? I'm responsible for my health, and I'm responsible for my finances, and I'm responsible for my family, and I'm responsible for the decisions I make, and I'm responsible for my motivation, and I'm gonna win.
Thanks for watching. For more motivational content like this, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel.